Hello students, my name is Swapnapriya, working as Commerce faculty in Telangana Social Welfare Residential Degree College of Commerce for Women. Hope everybody is staying home, staying healthy. Let us start the session. One of the main objectives of any firm is to earn profits. Why? Because no firm can survive or prosper without profits, isn't it? So a very hard-working businessman always have one intention in his mind, that is to increase his profits, to make his profits so that he can survive in the competitive market. Now look at this picture. Now when you look at this picture, you will understand that a person, a businessman, whatever he do, he will be having one thing in his mind, that is earning profit. While eating, while sleeping, while drinking, while meeting and talking, he has only one intention, that is how to increase profit, how to get profit. But a businessman can earn profit when the goods produced by his firm are being sold, isn't it? We have a formula to find out profit. Okay, now the profit, how do we calculate profit? Total sales minus total cost is equals to profit, isn't it? When we look at this formula, we will understand that profit is dependent on sales. Profit is dependent on sales, that is volume of sales. And profit also depends on cost. Cost is the actual amount which is incurred by the producer to produce a particular product or service. So profit is dependent on sales. Profit is also dependent on cost of production, isn't it? So today we are going to understand and study the relationship between cost, volume of sales and profit. That is C from cost and V from volume of sales and P from profit. So in short, the relationship between cost, volume and profit, we call it as CVP analysis. Okay. So our topic for today's session is CVP analysis, a tool for managerial decision making. Students, you are going to understand today in this session the meaning of CVP analysis, elements of CVP analysis and applications of CVP analysis. So let us start understanding the meaning of CVP analysis. CVP analysis studies the relationship between cost, number of units produced, number of units sold, selling price and profit. In simple, CVP analysis studies the variations in cost and profit with the relationship in volume of output and volume of sales. Though there are large number of internal and external factors which influences the amount of profit, but still volume of output and volume of sales are very important factors which influences the profit. Okay, so the relationship between these three factors, cost, volume and profit, are interlinked and interdependent. A CVP analysis is an attempt made to measure the variations in the cost and profit with the variation in volume of output and volume of sales. Look at this. Profits are dependent on sales. Volume of sale is dependent on volume of output. Volume of output is dependent on cost. Let us try to analyze these three situations. In order to increase profit, sales are to be increased. If sales increases, profit increases. If sales decreases, profit will also decrease. It means the relationship between sales and profit are directly related. Okay. For example, during lockdown in the month of April, shopping malls, movie theaters, gyms, salons, jewelry shops, etc. were closed. So the sales for certain products and services were very low and no. Similarly, the profits for those products and services were also no and low. It means that if sales increases, profits increases. If sales decreases, profit also decreases. In order to increase the sales, what is the factor which depends? Now, in order to increase the sales, volume of output should also increase. That means if volume of output decreases, volume of sales decreases, isn't it? Volume of output, in case if it is high, sales would be high. If volume of output is low, sales would be low. For example, initially when COVID-19 was attacking our nation, general public were getting awareness about wearing mask, face mask, usage of sanitizers, hand gloves, hand wash, etc. But market had identified that low stock in the market, isn't it? No stock, low stock. The reason behind this could be the volume of output was very short at that particular time. That means if the volume of output is low, sales will be definitely low, isn't it? But now we don't have that problem in our nation because many NGOs and small business units are coming up with producing face masks and sanitizers. Including our social welfare students are also into mask making and sanitizers making under the guidance of experts. So I repeat the thing, if sales increases, profit increases. If volume of output increases, volume of sales also increases. Both sales and profit and volume of sales and volume of output are directly related. Now let us try to understand volume of output is dependent on which factor? Yes, volume of output depends on cost. Low volume of output results high cost per unit. High volume of output results low cost per unit. Yes, the relationship between volume of output and cost per unit are inversely related, whereas sales and profit and sales and volume of output are directly related, but whereas volume of output and cost per unit are inversely related. We can also call it as indirectly related, negative relationship between volume of output and cost per unit. Now this could be the reason behind this is CVP analysis assumes that the total cost is segregated into two types. One is the fixed cost and the second one is the variable cost. Let us try to understand fixed cost. Fixed cost is that cost which remains fixed, which remains constant, as the name itself says, fixed, something which is fixed. Fixed cost is that cost which remains fixed, which will not change with the change in the output. Examples: rent of the factory building, equipmental rent, salaries to the permanent staff, depreciation on fixed assets, insurance, interest charges, property taxes, etc. So let us try to understand the concept of fixed cost with an example. Let us assume that a person called X is running a bakery in a rented building where he pays every month 2000 rupees as rent to his building owner or landlord, where he makes cupcakes. Okay, so in the month of February, okay, and volume of output. Now volume of output is number of cupcakes made. Okay, next fixed cost, which is rent, and it will be in rupees. Okay, so in the month of February, let us assume that the person made 200 cupcakes and the rent paid is 2000 rupees. Okay, next in the month of March, he made 100 cupcakes. How many cupcakes? 100 cupcakes. And what will be the rent he will be paying? Whether will rent changes here? No, it will not change. He has to pay 2000 rupees. Because landlord, he will not bother how many units or how many cupcakes he is making. He is bothered only about his rent, that is 2000 rupees, whether he is receiving 2000 rupees or not. Now let us assume that in the month of April, he made 50 cupcakes and fixed cost paid is still 2000. Now look at this column. Volume of output is decreasing, isn't it? Now look at the column of fixed cost, that is rent. Rent is remaining same. It is not changing, whereas volume of output is changing. So fixed cost is that cost which remains constant, which will not change with the change in the volume of output. Understood? So let us try to understand fixed cost per unit. Okay? Fixed cost per unit. Fixed cost per unit can be calculated using total fixed cost divided by volume of output. But in our example, I am taking rent and number of cupcakes made. Okay? So this will be also in rupees. 2000 rupees divided by 200 cupcakes. That is rupees 2000 divided by 200 cupcakes. Okay? Then amount will be 1. Okay? Next, in the month of March, how many cupcakes he made? 100. And what is the fixed cost? That is paid 2000. So rupees 2000 divided by 100, which is equals to rupees 20. Yes. So first one, in the February, he made 200 cupcakes and paid rent 2000 rupees. Whereas fixed cost per unit is 2000 rupees divided by 200 cupcakes is equals to rupees 10. It means that in order to make one cupcake, the person spent 10 rupees as fixed cost per unit. Okay? And in the month of March, when he made only 100 cupcakes, but still he paid 2000 as rent. Now the fixed cost per unit will be 2000 divided by 100, which is equals to rupees 20. So when the output started decreasing, the fixed cost started increasing. Okay? Next, in the month of April, he made 50 cupcakes and he paid 2000 rupees as rent. Now what will be the fixed cost per unit? That is rupees 2000 divided by 50 cupcakes is equals to rupees 40. Now students, look at the volume of output column, that is number of cupcakes made, 200, 100, 50. It is decreasing. The volume of output is decreasing, whereas fixed cost remains constant. There is no change in the fixed cost. Okay? Whereas fixed cost per unit is changing. Okay? It is increasing. Fixed cost per unit increases when volume of output starts decreases. Okay? So hope you have understood the meaning of fixed cost with the example. Let us talk about variable cost. Variable cost is that cost which varies. The name itself says variable, which changes. So variable cost is that cost which changes according to the changes in the output. If our volume of output increases, variable cost will also increase. If volume of output decreases, variable cost will also decreases. It changes according to the changes in the volume of output. Okay? So best examples for variable cost are raw material cost, labor cost, electricity specially used for productivity purpose, packaging, etc. Now let us take the same example and try to understand total variable cost and variable cost per unit. Yes. In the month February, March and April. Same example I am taking, and volume of output. What is the volume of output? Number of cupcakes. Okay. So how many cupcakes he made in the month of February? 200. How many cupcakes in the month of March? 100. In the month of April, 50. Isn't it? Yes. So, the best examples of variable cost are, as I told you, raw material cost, labor cost, electricity, packaging. Isn't it? So, here to make our example simple and easy to understand, I would be taking only one item as example with imaginary figures. Okay. So, here let me write raw material used. Okay. So, I will be taking flour as example and which will be in quantity. The quantity I am taking here as kgs. Okay. So, raw material consumed to make cupcakes. Usually to make cupcakes, flour, butter, milk, sugar, essence, etc. will be used, isn't it? But to make our example easy and simple, I am taking flour. Okay. So, let us assume that the person, when he was making 200 cupcakes, the flour, the raw material consumed was 20 kgs. Okay. And when he made 100 kgs, it will decrease, isn't it? That is 10 kgs. And then when he made 50 cupcakes, the consumption of raw material will be 5 kgs. Okay. Now, let us assume that raw material per kg. This will be in rupees. Okay. So, per kg flour, we are assuming it as 10 rupees. Okay. Now, let us find out variable cost, which will be again in rupees. So, how do we calculate variable cost? 20 kgs into 10 rupees. 20 kgs into rupees 10 is equals to 200 rupees. Okay. And in the month of March, he made 100 cupcakes. So, he used 10 kgs of flour and each kg of flour is 10 rupees, isn't it? So, 10 kgs into rupees 10 is equals to 100 rupees. And in the month of April, he made 50 cupcakes. For that, he used 5 kgs of flour and each kg of flour rupees 10. Okay. So, 5 kgs into rupees 10 is equals to 50 rupees. Isn't it? Now, look at the column of volume of output and variable cost. As the volume of output decreases, variable cost also decreases. Okay. And vice versa. If the volume of output increases, then variable cost will also increase. Understood? And next, we will calculate variable cost per unit. It means in order to make 200 cupcakes, per cupcake what is the variable cost? Let us try to understand in that manner. Okay. So, what is the formula to find out variable cost per unit? Variable cost per unit is equals to total variable cost divided by volume of output. That is 200 rupees divided by 200 cupcakes. 200 cost of variable cost, that is 200 rupees divided by 200 cupcakes, which is equals to rupee 1. So, in order to make one cupcake, the variable cost incurred was only 1 rupee. Okay. So, let us see for 100 cupcakes. Variable cost is 100 rupees divided by 100 cupcakes. So, 100 divided by 100 is equals to rupees 1. Okay. Now, last 50 cupcakes he made and variable cost is also 50 rupees. So, 50 rupees divided by 50 cupcakes is equals to rupee 1, isn't it? Now, look at the table. Volume of output is decreasing, variable cost is also decreasing, but variable cost per unit remains constant. For all it is 1. Okay. Whereas, fixed cost remains constant even though there is change in volume of output, but fixed cost per unit is changing, isn't it? Now, let me take one more example. Let us assume that in the month of May, they have produced nil. No production, nil. then will they use any flour? Will they use any raw material for making 0 units, 0 cupcakes? No. Okay. So what will be the variable cost? Variable cost will be 0. Okay. So volume of output as it increases, variable cost will also increases. If volume of output decreases, variable cost will also decreases. But variable cost per unit remains constant. Understanding the concepts of fixed cost and variable cost is very, very important. At the same time, analyzing fixed cost per unit and variable cost per unit is very important to the management, because it helps the management in taking certain decisions like reduction in cost of production, controlling of cost, fixing of the selling prices in more better manner, and then increase of sales of the products or services. Okay. So as discussed earlier, CVP analysis establishes the relationship between cost, volume and profit. In order to understand the relationship between cost, volume and profit, there are certain mathematical concepts which are to be understood. Okay, so in order to understand the concepts, usually they are treated as elements of CVP analysis. Okay. Let us try to understand the elements of CVP analysis. There are 5 elements of CVP analysis. First one, marginal cost equation. Second one, contribution. Third one, P by V ratio, which is also called PV ratio, break-even point and margin of safety. Coming to the first one, marginal cost equation. When I started the session, I gave you one formula, that is total sales minus total cost is equals to profit, isn't it? We have seen something like this. Sales minus cost is equals to profit, isn't it? This is the general formula for calculating the profit, isn't it? But marginal cost equation assumes that total cost will be segregated into 2 types, fixed cost and variable cost, isn't it? We discussed this already. Total cost is divided into 2 types, fixed cost and variable cost, isn't it? CVP analysis assumes. So instead of writing sales minus cost is equals to profit, marginal cost equation is something MCQ, marginal cost equation is equals to sales. I am not writing total cost. Instead of that, I am writing variable cost minus fixed cost is equals to profit. Is that clear? Yes. So a marginal cost equation is equals to sales minus variable cost minus fixed cost is equals to profit. It is very simple to remember. Instead of writing total cost, we are splitting the total cost into 2 different types of cost, that is variable cost and fixed cost, and then we are finding out the profit. Okay, this is the first element of CVP analysis. And the second element of CVP analysis is contribution. Contribution is the difference between sales and the variable cost. So only this part we can call it as contribution. Okay. Coming to the third one, P by V ratio, which is also called contribution sales ratio. So P refers to profit, V refers to volume of sales. Yes, and then contribution by sales ratio. So when we say contribution, contribution is what? Sales minus variable cost, isn't it? So we are trying to understand the relationship between sales minus variable cost divided by sales into 100, we will get the P by V ratio, which is called profit by volume ratio. Okay, and the fourth one is break even point. Break even point is that point where total revenue is exactly equal to total cost, and this point is also called no profit no loss point. And the next one is margin of safety. Margin of safety is the difference between actual sales and the break-even sales. Hope you have understood the elements of CVP analysis. Coming to the next we are going to understand some of the applications of CVP analysis. Now, CVP analysis helps in preparation of flexible budgets. Management estimates profits over different levels of volume using CVP analysis, which also helpful in preparing the flexible budgets, because flexible budgets are prepared at different levels of output, different levels of activities. And next one, CVP analysis also helps the management in knowing the profitability position. It means that CVP analysis helps the management in analyzing the impact of changes in prices on the profitability position of the company. For example, say if there is change in 10% or say 10% change in selling price will result what profit in the future, or 10 rupees increase or decrease in the selling price results what profitability in the of the company. Okay, and then next one, it determines break-even point. CVP analysis, no doubt a very powerful tool for the management in determining BEP. BEP is break-even point. It is a point where total revenue is equal to total cost, which is also called no profit, no loss point. Actually, we have discussed it, isn't it? Next, coming to the next point, pricing. CVP analysis is vital in pricing too. Modern economy is characterized with huge competition. So, in order to maintain that competitive edge in the market, the firm has to give the selling prices the best. Okay, so through which the sales can increase. So, CVP analysis plays a very vital role in fixing the selling prices of the products and services, which ultimately takes the company to increase its sales. Okay, dear students, hope you have understood the applications of CVP analysis. Okay, and then I would like to conclude the topic stating that CVP analysis is a very useful tool to the management in profit planning, cost control, performance evaluation and decision making. Analyzing the CVP, that is cost, volume and profit, is very useful and interesting to the cost accountants and managerial accountants, because it gives the answers to certain questions like at what volume of the sales the firm is going to get break even, at what volume of the sales the firm is going to get more profits, how the changes in cost and price will affect the profit. Next, which component should be manufactured and which component should be bought. And last one, which product or product mix is more profitable. So, in order to get answers to these questions, cost accountants and managerial accountants will apply CVP analysis as a tool. Okay. So, students, I have 2 questions for self-assessment. Look at this. CVP analysis establishes the relationship between option A, cost, volume of output and profit, option B, cost, volume of output and price, so option C, cash, volume of output and profit, option D, cash, volume of output and price. Which is the correct answer? Yes. A is your correct answer. CVP analysis establishes the relationship between cost, volume of output and profit. You have one more question. Fixed cost per unit increases when? Option A, volume of output increases, option B, volume of output decreases, option C, volume of output remains constant, or option D, none of the above. The answer is fixed cost per unit increases when volume of output decreases. This you have it on the board. Okay. And before leaving the session, I would like to give you an assignment, my dear students. Select any manufacturing unit nearby and study the cost particulars of that unit. Try to find out what are fixed cost and what are the variable cost. With this, I wind up my session. Thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity.